last to join, and the youngest, and let's talk about how he kind of fit into this rock and roll dynamic. What were some of the keys to you for playing John Deacon?
Yeah, he was a bit of an outsider, sort of the oddest, I think, in a very odd group of people. But yeah, no, I describe him as sort of this accidental rock star, right? Like he when he was young, he just sort of liked playing music, and he enjoyed the bass, and it was something he sort of did on the weekends, and just in his spare time as kind of a hobby. And he happened to join a band that would become the biggest maybe ever. And so he's just sort of said, oh, I guess I'll put my electrical engineering aside, and I don't know, write Another One Bites the Dust, the biggest hit in Queen history, just as a goof. I mean, even he wrote the bass line to Under Pressure and forgot it, and they went to lunch and they came back and like, John, what's that bass line? We're trying to write the song. And he was like, oh, I can't remember. So it's like that, right? Like that expression, like someone has forgotten more than you've ever known, and that's sort of John a little bit, that he's just kind of just coming up with these things I don't know, in my spare time, whatever, yeah, I wrote this thing that now everyone will know in the world.
Vanilla Ice remembered it.
Yeah, he should have.
I love that detail. Yeah, you wrote the bass line for Under Pressure and forgot it.
Yeah,
Then we had pizza, right?
Yeah.
Then we had a slice of pizza.
I'm doing the Vanilla Ice biopic after this. I have an announcement to make. Yeah, no, John was just a very interesting person. John is a very private person as well. And after he was, I don't want to speak for him too much, but I know he was very affected by Freddie's death. And after that, he was sort of never the same, and didn't really want the limelight, and sort of wanted to leave Queen there with his memories of Freddie, and I think that they bring back a little bit of pain now of that time in his life. And so for me, getting into him was really a lot of YouTube research, a lot of interviews, but that's amazing. I'm so glad that this movie was able to be made in the time of the internet and YouTube, where you can follow. They have John Deacon cameras that you can follow. You can actually go and research famous performances of theirs, and they have the cameras for all 4 individual men that were on stage. So you can watch just 3 hours of footage of John playing every song, and so you can see where he kind of takes the front and kind of is more of a showman, and when he's dancing, and when he's getting drunker as the thing goes on, and you just find all these little moments and details of him that you can bring to the character in that sense. And then obviously interviews, you can't tell quite as much, but you can sort of still tell the way the band would sort of push him forward. He wouldn't want to really talk. He wouldn't want to be sort of in the limelight, but they'd kind of egg him on and push him into it a little bit. And so that you can kind of glean something from that as well. And so all these things, even the fact that he wants to be so private now, and wasn't on set with us like the other guys were, that tells you something about who he is and sort of his journey. You just try to take all those things and kind of bring them to the performance. But I mean, as you already said though, I was very jealous at times when Brian May and Roger Taylor would be on set. But they were incredible to me, and there was that sense that maybe they'll sort of worry about their own characters because they want to make sure that they get them right. But he really was completely so generous with his time, and came up to me and gave me details about John that I didn't know, or things that I didn't see. And he just always wanted to make sure that I felt like I had all the information and he was a great resource, as great of a resource as he could possibly be.
As Willem just said, the scientist in him wanted to make sure all of you had the amount of evidence that you could have.